Oh my goodness. Frugal Granny, Manuela. All Manuela and Frugal Granny. How are y'all doing today? It's the last few days has been cold for me. I've been running around with a hoodie on and all that stuff. But it's cold for me, you know. It gets down in the 40s sometimes, and that's too cold for me. You're laying in bed. It's 11 p.m. Yeah, that's about right. Hey, Angie. If y'all caught that video about the COVID, I guess we're in the clear. Somebody at my daughter's job, of course, that's where she got it the first time when I got it. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Petite. I was just talking about this COVID stuff. Hey, Willow. Oh, good. You got some clothes on.
It's cold.
It's what?
It's cold.
It's cold.
Yes.
Say hi to my subscribers.
It's cold.
Did you say hi to my YouTube family? Okay. Hey, Isabel.
It's cold.
My daughter's test come back negative, and so she could go back to work. Of course, it's Christmas vacation now for the boy, so he won't be going back to school till yeah, that was Jaden Petite. That's my baby. Hey, Lisa. I got on to him, but I told him from now when he comes in here and wants to pop into one of my videos, he needs to have something on besides his drawers. A couple of people don't like it, and which they got a good point, you know. There's a lot of creepy people watching sometimes and might make something out of it. But anyway, hey, Scrap and Crash, one of my younger subscribers. How old are you, Scrap and Crash? I don't believe I ever asked you that. But no, we don't have to worry about the COVID. Maybe we have an immunity to it. I don't know, because we all had it in August. So maybe we do have an immunity to it. I don't know. I have a hard time getting he's 39. That's pretty dang young. That's pretty young. 39 years old. Let's see, where was I at when I was 39? Jennifer was 9 years old. And no, wait a minute. Jennifer in 39. When I was 39, Jennifer was 9 years old. And Bud was 7. And oh gosh, thank you so much, Petite. Thank you so much. I've been keeping up watching that stimulus thing that they're supposed to give again. Of course, I didn't get one the last time I did it, so I don't expect I would get it this time, but I checked into it and they said I was eligible, but I never got nothing. And my daughter did. I think she got, let's see, she got 500 for Jaden and 1,000 and $1,700. That's a good little shot in the arm. But you know, we've been in this house now almost 2 months, and it's, oh boy, pain in my leg. Thank you so much, Petite. It's almost 2 months we've been in this house, and I'm trying to remember where we was at before we found this house. Thank you, Angie. But I'm noticing things. The water pressure is not great here for some reason. I don't know what the deal is on that. Thank you so much, Petite. I'm sending you an email. I want to talk to you. Really? Wanting it to be 600, not 1,200. I think my daughter was talking about that. Night, Petite. Hey, Fantab. You're my bestie too, dear. Oh, ow, ow. What the world's going on with my leg? I've been trying to figure out how I can use this big shower that we got. I just can't get my. I'm going to make a video, not naked, but I'm going to practice getting in and out of that shower somehow. I want to figure out the best way to go about it. I need a shower. Trump says voting machines may have been breached. Oh, well, I ain't going to discuss that. That was something that just popped up on my screen over there. I can't get my brain wrapped around it. I figured, you know, I can get up and down the steps out there on the deck to get into my scooter and stuff like that. But getting into this shower is stumping me. Well, it's definitely, I'm not going to be able to stand up in there. That's not going to happen. I'm going to have to be sitting. Because I can't control. Well, I'd be holding on. I have to hold on to something. I can't do it. You know, I'm going to practice doing it. I'm going to make a. Yeah, a lot of people wish it was $1,200. My oldest grandson, when my wife and I was raising him, it was just me and her and him, and we was taking him to a dentist regular. He was on Medicaid, and the dentist, hey, Cupcake, and the dentist wanted him to start have braces. And so they set up an appointment, and we went back. They Manuel, I'm gonna set my potty chair in there and sit on that. I haven't been able to get an appointment with the doctor to get hey, Canadian girl. But at any rate, so we took him back. The dentist, they was in there a while. And he come out, had them braces on, and he wasn't a happy camper. And folks, I'm gonna tell you what, it's 30 miles from Gainesville to where we were at in Sutra. And by the time we got to the house, that boy had ripped them things off. I mean, he destroyed them. And as you know, he has cerebral palsy, so he had a problem with it. And we went back to the dentist, and he was going to put some more back on, but then he got talking to Donovan, and he come out and told us, said, there's no need for me to put any on him. He's not going to wear them. So he didn't get braces. And now he has yeah, I'm not going to get in there naked, Cindy. Oh, my God, that would be a hoot. But, yeah, he destroyed them braces. And he's got all kind of dental problems now. And he has to do, he has to come up with copay and everything to but that's the story on Donovan's braces. And I don't know how expensive that was to start with, but I guess it's not cheap. But that was when he was about 8 years old, 8 or 9, somewhere right in there. But me, I was having a lot of dental problems, and I guess about 1992, something like that. And it's been going, it was costing me so much for dental work. And the last time I got a crossbite, I don't know if you can tell, I'm going to show you something. Now that's my mouth shut. If you look close at the left side, no, wait a minute. Anyway, you can see I've got a crooked jaw. A lot of people think I had a broke jaw when that first come up. That first come up when I was in the Army. Well, they wanted to do some surgery on my jaw and cut one side and take some bone out. And so it would be, let me see. Right now it's straight. But that's the way it goes normally. And I talked to a guy that had that done. And there's a nerve that runs in that bone. And they damaged that nerve on that bone. And side of his face down through there was numb permanent. So I decided not to do it. So they went in there and filed my upper teeth. They still had, you know how your teeth got these little ridges on the bottom of it when you're just young, when they first come out? Well, by me having that crossbite, my teeth wasn't coming together normal and wearing them ridges off. And they were very sharp. So the dentist took and ground them ridges off, which wasn't no problem, you know. Hey, Sheila. Did I say hi to Cupcake Girl? Hey, Crazy's Family Cube and Help Nuts. Now, where was there is power in prayer. We are praying for a new furnace. You know, that's they won't come and give an estimate. That's weird. I'm not out and about much, so I don't know, but those furnaces can't be cheap, I'll tell you that. That's one thing about owning your own place. You got to pay for that stuff when it comes up. And with us, like, renting right now, because I know I had my own place for over 30 years. And I had to, you know, pay for a roof. Well, the last time I paid for a roof, FEMA paid for it, because that was hurricane damage. But I think we paid almost $4,000 for the roof the first time we replaced it. And then the air conditioning unit and all that stuff, you have to pay for all it. But when you rent, you got to call the landlord. It's up to them to fix it. So that's good. But trouble with renting, something might happen and you have to move out. And we got a problem right now. One of the burners on the electric stove in there in the kitchen, they just replaced one burner on it. Now another one's quit. I finally got to fix that Hazelback potatoes that I want to fix so bad. And the best part about that video, if you looked at it, was when I had it all done, and me and my baby boy sitting there at that counter. He was standing up, I was sitting in my chair, and we was eating. I fixed two, and he was eating one, and I was eating one, and he loved it. And we was talking, you know, talk about quality time. That was just absolutely wonderful. And he's been after me since then to make some more. Matter of fact, he come in this morning and said, I really love that. So I got to get my butt in there and do two more. But he liked it. I like it when I have quality time with him. And it just comes about unexpected. I didn't expect for me and him to sit there and chit-chatting and eating them potatoes. I love that. That was the best part of it. Now, they didn't turn out exactly the way I thought they would. I got some better ideas about it on these next two I'm going to make, and I'll probably do them tomorrow for him. But I got some other things that I really like that I make that I never had a recipe for some of this stuff that I do. It's just stuff that just seemed like it would be good, and I would make it. I you have they Angie has Junkdobbers. When did that happen, Angie? How did I miss that? Gosh. You know, when I had it, it just floored my butt. I mean, I went to the hospital. I was sick and had a fever and stuff, and the doctor come back in there and said, "Well, we're going to send you home, but you have COVID." So I went home, and the next day they had I was in such bad shape they had to call the ambulance to come get me and take me back to the hospital. And then that's when they admitted me. I mean, it floored me. But I know a lot of people that's had it and they don't go to the hospital, and it doesn't affect them real bad. But it put me down, and that's when my daughter said one of my managers that I was working with has COVID-19, and they don't want me to come back till I go have a test and come back negative. So did y'all see my old boy peeping around the corner? My best friend just got the virus. He was already in the nursing home. He was in a nursing home. Did they isolate him or take him to the hospital, Lisa? And it's just like my cousin, you know, the one I was so close to. He got it. He didn't. He started getting better, and then overnight he started going downhill again, and he died from it. I really wasn't hurting her. It was the fever that was kicking my butt, but I didn't really start. Hey, Dwayne, I didn't see you there, my friend. But that's why I got so worried when she said that he's got it. Now I have to go have a test. Ain't gonna be able to send Jaden to school because if I'm exposed, he's exposed. So. But it didn't matter too much about the school because Christmas vacation. Well, it was Thursday that the schools closed till January 3rd, I guess. I think, what day does January 3rd come on? Let me look right quick. Well, why ain't it showing up? Oh, there it goes. No. January 3rd. He won't go to school till January 4th. Because the 3rd's on a Sunday. Huh. day's Christmas on? Friday. Next Friday. Less than a week away. Anyhow, I hadn't been out in the last 2 or 3 days. Well, let's see. I probably hadn't been out in 4 days. I'm going out tomorrow. Jaden's gonna get his bicycle and we're gonna push it down to where Circle K's at and get some air in them tires. It's been so long since he's rode it, the tires are flat. So we got to get down there, and he's wanting to go out riding again, and we don't let him go out riding, by himself. Because I just don't. A lot of people let their kids do that, but guys, I don't know why. I wasn't that protective of my daughter and my son back when they was his age, Jaden's age. But when my son died in '86, it just I don't know if it's good or bad that I don't want him riding up and down the road by himself. And there's a couple of reasons for that, I guess. I know how easy it is for a child to get up in the morning and go to school and all that stuff, and then that evening they're dead. I know how fragile it is. And I worry about that. I don't think I could handle it, losing my boys and my daughter. I really don't. And then there's so much meanness out there, these bad people out there, I don't know. Maybe I'm too protective, but my daughter, she's the same way. Maybe for the same reason. I don't know. But I just don't. I don't. I just do, sometimes I think about it, sometimes when my daughter and them's going somewhere and they leave and go out the door, it crosses my mind, I don't I think about it like, well, will they come back? It just crosses my mind that stuff happens, and I don't want to be on that, in that situation again. And then the other reason too is there's still a lot of racism out there, and him being of mixed half black, and you can tell that just by looking at him. You can tell that by looking at all 3 of my grandsons. And I don't trust a lot of people, and this is my thoughts on racism right now. I think it mostly is with people that are living at the poverty level or below it. Because every time I've had something come up with Donovan, my older grandson, it was from people that was at poverty or below poverty or druggies, people like that. I was at the bus stop one morning. I always took my Donovan to the bus stop. I even did it when he was in high school. And there was this guy, and I'll call that sucker by his, well, I don't know what his real name was. Everybody called him Lobo. And he stayed drunk a lot. I don't even know what he was doing down there at the bus stop that morning. And I didn't have nothing against him up till then. And my grandson was out there running around with a couple of his friends. Ow, ow. And I was standing there talking to Lobo, and there was a couple of other people there, friends of mine, grown adults, all men. And we were just talking, and Lobo looked over and seen my grandson. And he didn't know it was my grandson. And he said, well, it looks like the niggers are taking over everything. I was stunned when he said it. And another friend of mine named, I can't think of his name. Oh, gosh. Brian. He reached over and grabbed that guy by the neck and said, that's his grandson you're talking about there. And then, of course, he tried to apologize and all that stuff, but I didn't have nothing to do with him after that. And then there was another incident, and I think I told it was another one that was, I won't say he was below poverty, but he was right there at it. And he made some comments. He didn't think I was around. But I've never had anybody that was, well, yes, I did too. My barber made a comment when I asked him, could he cut my grandson's hair? And he was a little fella then too. And he said, yeah, I'll do his, but don't want him bringing no more of them over here. So that, to me, that's offensive. So, and he wasn't at poverty. He wasn't even close to poverty. He was fairly well off. But yeah, that crosses my mind a lot about all three of them, getting treated that way. Donovan got treated that way one time. Well, that was Donovan I was just talking about, but there was a couple of other instances. I need not say the N-word because YouTube might frown on it. But Donovan had this girlfriend one time, and she was white. And one day, she told him she wouldn't be wanting to go out with or see him anymore or anything, and said, I don't want anybody thinking I'm running around with the N people, and I won't say the N word again. And he flipped out. He flipped out. And shit, that girl turned out she wasn't nothing but trash. I won't call her name. She wasn't nothing but trash. But she went to the church where we went. I don't know. We all have races in the family, especially with our southern brood. Yeah, it's not, that stuff's embedded in the child early on, and that's what keeps it going. But I don't worry about it so much anymore. My middle grandson, he's half black, and he's the one that moved out. He's with this girl in Gainesville. She's white. She's going to college. She works 2 jobs, and I don't know how in the world she does that. I think she's 20. But Joey has never, every girl that he's been involved with or went out with has been white. He hasn't gone out with any black girls, and he made the statement one day that he wasn't too fond of black girls because of the way they acted or something like that. And I never could give me a specific on it, but that's what he said. And my daddy was full-blooded Cherokee, and my mom was Irish and Scottish, and I was the only blonde-haired, blue-eyed, light-skinned out of 8 kids. You never know. I had this lady that I went and picked up cans from when I was over at the other place, and her name was Ashley. And she had 2 daughters. And the daughters were exact opposites. One had solid black hair, and she wasn't like dark or anything, but she wasn't really fair skinned. And the other one was pure white, blonde headed thing, and very fair skinned. Almost, would I call it alabaster? I don't know. But y'all might remember seeing Miss Ashley. Boy, she was. What's that? Oh, boy, that leg's giving me a fit. Maybe I've been sitting too long. I need to start walking more. I really do. I really do. But yeah, I worry about my babies. Joey's been over twice this past week. I sure miss seeing him coming in and out and going to work and stuff. And I miss driving over there and picking him up from school and stuff when he was in high school. And it gets away from you before you know it, you know. You get grown up. I'm reading again. I'm reading again. Oh, Lord. I have got to find out some way to get the attention of the VA and get my butt in there, because I don't want that ramp on the deck out there. I want a better wheelchair than a wheelchair that right now I've got this wheelchair is smaller than it should be for somebody like me. The way the therapist was looking at my wheelchair, he said, that wheelchair is not right for you. He said, your butt needs to sit even with your knees or a little bit higher than your knees. He said, that's why you can't get out of that chair. And when he said that, that's when I started using the cushion. But then I got a bunch of, let's see if I can show you this. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna show you something. All right. This cushion is in my wheelchair. And then this is in my wheelchair. You can see how thick that is. And if I sit down in this chair, without this cushion in that, if I sit down in that chair without them in this chair, I wouldn't be able to stand up, because my butt would be much lower than my knees. The way it is now, where I got it propped up now, is they're about even with my butt, so I could pretty easily get up. Where did you take your clothes off for? Can't come in here like that.
I'm not. I'm just saying that it's hot. I mean, cold. I mean, hot.
Why don't you put a shirt on, baby? It's cold.
Really?
God, I tell you what, guys, I still can't get over that. I call it quality time. When me and him sit there and talk and eat, and he was telling me that is good, and he keeps asking me for more. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I wished I had spent more quality time with my kids when they was growing up. But I didn't. I didn't think I had time. And that boy tried so hard to please me, you know. He one day I come home from work early, and he called me out on the deck. He said, I want to show you something. He showed me this lawnmower sitting there, which it was my lawnmower. And what was that all about? Anyway, he said, I want you to see this. I said, and? He said, well, come back later. So directly he come back in the house. Said, Dad, come out here, I want to show you something. And I come out there, and he had took that motor off of that lawnmower and completely, I mean completely took it apart. It was, the piston was out, all that stuff. It was complete, and laying there. And I was dumbfounded. I said, what did you do that for? Well, I want to show you something. He said, come back later. So after a while, he come back in the house, told me, come out there, I want to show you something. Come out there, and it was all back together. And he pulled that, he primed the gas on it and pulled that cord on it, and it started right up. All the rest. But I didn't know he had been taking that stuff in shop and stuff at school. But he had it all back together, and I don't think I showed enough praise that I should have given him for that. And that was a couple of months before he died that he did that. There was a lot of things he did that I didn't know about. After he died, hey, Rianne, I didn't see you, dear. I come home one day, and he wrecked his bicycle. Well, it didn't wreck it. He bent the wheel, the front wheel on it. And I never did get the straight story on how he did that. And after he died, there's a friend of his that's a computer tech now, and he works with computers, repairs them and stuff. And he come over to the house one night and he's working on mine, doing something. I can't remember what it was. And he was talking, you know, him and Bud did stuff together when they was boys, you know, and everything. And he started telling me about that time Bud wrecked his bicycle. He said they both wrecked. He worked his, Bud wrecked his, and and Jason worked his, broke his. And what they was doing, they went down to the railroad tracks, which was about a 1.5 miles away. And they started riding down the railroad tracks across the ties, the wood things. And it got really bumpy or something, and they both bent the wheels on their bicycles and had to push them that 1.5 miles back home. So I didn't know about that till it was, you know, after my son was gone. Well, it was probably 15 years after he was gone. But he did a lot of things I didn't know about that I found out about after he died. He had these little plastic they weren't action figures. They was like toy plastic soldiers. And he took and made a little parachute out of a piece of fabric of some kind, tied some strings to it. And he'd throw that thing way up in the air and let it parachute back down. And one day, one that he had made, he threw it up in the air and it got caught up in the tree. And about 2 years after he died, I was out in the yard working. It was windy. And all of a sudden, that little toy soldier and that parachute, it blew out of the tree and come floating down to the ground. I ain't ashamed to tell you, I cried like a baby. And I had a little shop building out on the property, and I had a bunch of stuff stored in there. And that was in there when that shop burnt down. But yeah, it come floating down. Wow. I think about a lot of things like that. In my shop, in my business, I had, when he'd be over there like on a Saturday helping out or something, he'd do stuff. There was little things he did that was still there long time after he died. Man. Wanting what? What did I miss here? What am I missing here? What for everyone wanting one? Wanting one what, Marty? What did I miss? What did I miss? Sip of coffee. Yeah, I'll have a new video up tomorrow myself. I think I will. Tomorrow Sunday. A video, okay. I'll make sure that, of course, I see them all anyway. Okay. I know I'm going out riding around tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but of course, the day slipped away from me. Guys, I guess that's going to be about it. I've been on here about an hour, I guess, or close to it. I feel like there was something I was wanting to say that I've not. Oh, I'm getting ready to hang my pictures. I think I've taken, I'm putting these things on the back, they're Velcro, and I peel these things off and I can stick them on the wall. This one needs to be clean. This is That's a picture of my wife, myself, and my son and my daughter in 19. I think that was 78 or 77. And look at that head of hair on me, would you? Oh, man. I thought I was a cat's meow. Oh, my goodness. That was taken by a portrait studio there in Hopewell, where my shop was at and everything. And he made us a whole batch of different poses and stuff. And all I had to pay him was I had to furnish his lot front. I put a sofa, a love seat, and a chair in there, brand new. Some I made, some of that reproduction stuff. Yeah, I thought I was a cat's meow. That was right before we moved to Florida. I'll talk about that someday while we move. I've got a big one that's, I think it's 18 by 24. It's a big one. But I hang in the frame just got messed up, and it was a nice frame. I just hadn't got another frame for it. But it hung on our dining room wall for 28 years. All right, guy. Yeah, that was 70s. That was 70s. I think Jennifer was about 8, and he was 6. He was 6. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate all of you being around, coming around. Appreciate all the support and all them super chats. Oh, man. I'm getting more. Well, one cotton picking thing. I'm out of friggin'. I've got my meds is all screwed up. I got this one here. This is the one that my Levermere pens come, you know, the insulin. And it says down here, 1 partial refill by 9/17/21. When my daughter come home with these, it was only 2 boxes of these, and it's usually at least 3. So maybe they didn't have enough. Wait a minute. And then that says quantity 30. I don't know. But I'm out of a couple of medicines. I'm not out of gabapentin. But by the way, I'm doing a video again about gabapentin and a couple of other medicines that I'm taking, just for discussion. I want some discussion on it and see how other people have dealt with it, how it's affected them and stuff. I know there's several of y'all in here that takes gabapentin. I know Mary Beth does. But I've still got quite a few gabapentin, but they wouldn't fill it this time because they said I didn't have my prescription has to be renewed. And the same thing on Mexicam, what MEX something, I don't know. but I'm not sure if it's for arthritis or if it's a pain pill. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to do a video on that stuff again. Get a lot of views on that too. I got over 2,000 views on one that I did one time about gabapentin. But gabapentin, you know, is a generic of Neurontin. And I remember back when my wife was having to take Neurontin, it was over $1 a pill. But she had one of these doctors. He was real free with the samples that he was giving her so we wouldn't have to buy them. But then they switched her to something else. I guess it was gabapentin. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll have a video up. It'll either come out tomorrow evening or Monday morning. And what am I forgetting? I don't know. Oh, I haven't seen America. I miss America when she's not on there. My lady sent me my guardian angel from the Netherlands. I wish I had more people from other countries. You know, I've got one from Ukraine. I've got several from England or Britain. I've got a couple from Guam, Canada. I had one from Japan, but something happened to them. They got gone. Yeah, meloxicam. Lisa says she thinks it's for arthritis. That's what it is, meloxicam. And that may be why my joints is hurting so bad here lately, because I'm out of that. I've got to see. I guess I'm going to call Monday. No, I'm going to get my daughter to take me over there Monday. And I'm going up. When I go up there, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, well, I'm back. And I'm just curious. No, I won't say that. I was going to say, I'm just curious what lies are y'all going to tell me this time. No, I won't do that. But they have, I don't know how many times we've been over and how many times we've called. But Cindy says Gabbies are killers. I hear you need to tune in on that video when I do that, Cindy, about that. I'm probably going to do a premiere on that because I want as much input as I can get. My health didn't really start going downhill till they put me on gabapentin. I really think that had something to do with it. But then there are some people now, like Mary Beth, she's I don't know if she swears by it, but she's happy with it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you next time. I love all of you. And the ones that did the super chats, thank you so much. It's much appreciated.